Hello, Wizards fans. How y'all doing? Y'all know who it is. It's your boy, Cameron Mingo. And as you all know, Wizards season came to an end a week ago. Lost the Sixers in the first round. But it is what it is. But we had a good run, but you know, this season, this Wizards season was probably one of the most weirdest seasons ever been part of, because we had a lot of ups, we had a lot of downs, had a lot of crazy wins, crazy losses, and all that. But it was, I'll say it was probably one of the weirdest seasons ever. For me, for being a Wiz fan for 20 years, we had to deal with COVID, we had to deal with injuries and all that. But at least we made the playoffs, though. That's all I'm happy with. We're not going to the lottery. That's why I'm happy about that. But But for today's show, since it's the last show of the season, we're gonna do a review of the season. We're gonna look back at the season. We're gonna talk about some of the players, the free agents that's coming this year, and later on we're gonna talk about my top 10 wins of the season. Which I think we had 34 wins out of 38, plus one in the playoffs, and another one in the playing tournament. And then later on, we're gonna have some closing thoughts on the show and get ready for next season. So, like I said, from past couple of times, let's talk about how we made the playoffs. So, beginning of the year, we know what happened. The Westbrook trade that shocked every Wizards fan in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because we thought coming into the season, we were going to see the return of Wall, because he's been out for over 2 years with Achilles injury. But we made a shocking move to trade Wall to Houston for Westbrook. At first, I was kind of shocked. Well, shocked about the trade. But then after a day or two, once Westbrook arrived at DC, and Westbrook had a little press conference, I said, "All right, I'm gonna ride with this." But it didn't turn out to be that way going on, because we started 0-5 start the year, and I'm thinking, what is going on? Like, what is up with the Wizards? Because we had high hopes going into the year, because we thought with Westbrook, the DC, we thought we would be like a 5 or 6 seed in the East. I said 6 to be honest. Remember in the beginning of the show, I said we're gonna be 6 seed, but didn't work out. But we started 0-5. Westbrook couldn't play any back-to-back games, and I believe after we got I think we had our third win or fourth win of the season against Phoenix, and then the COVID outbreak happened. Like, we couldn't play basketball for a week. We had like 6, 7 guys who were out due to COVID, and once we came back, we were playing with we're probably like 7, 8 guys on the roster. We were pretty much short-handed, and the losing continued to mount. But I think once we reach February, like early February, we hit our stride. I think we went on a 5-game win streak. We were winning out west, winning at home, and I'm thinking they're back. And then we are back. But we did finish strong going to the All-Star break. But after the break, it went downhill again. And we were leaning towards the lottery. And then, to me, the biggest turnaround of the year, the trade deadline. Getting Daniel Gafford. At first, I didn't know who he was, him and Hutchinson, because nobody watches Chicago Bulls like that. And I'm like, when you think of Chicago, you watch Zach LaVine. When I saw we traded Troy Brown and Mo Wagner for Gafford, Hutchinson, and I saw them two, I'm like, who is that? Who is that? I'm like, I know who he was, but that first game of Gafford, I'm like, all right now, okay, like we probably found something in this guy. And then once we hit April, I think that's when the turnaround happened. We were 17-32. And I think by the time we had like a 0.4% chance of making the playoffs, and I think we were in 13th place in the lottery. And then what happened? The winning happened. I think at one point we went on not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, but an 8-game winning streak. Like, I didn't believe this was coming this season. I didn't see it coming. It was our first 8-game win streak in 20 years since Michael Jordan on our team. That was the first year as a Wizards fan. That was the good time, by the way. Michael Jordan and Wizards, those were some good times, but you already know what happened. But that winning streak was fun. That really ignited the Wizards. Cause I think after our second West Coast trip, and we went 4-2, I believe. I said to myself, we might make the play. We might turn the thing around and go for it. We said, screw the lottery. Like, we're gonna make the playoffs. And then when we hit May, we did finish strong. We had some winning and losing going on there, but April we had some close losses in April. We could have been, I said, a set, possibly a 7 seed if we set our streak to, we could have been like a 13-game win streak or something, or 14-game win streak. But no. But we did get the AC because I think we said get to 10, get to 10, get to 10, but instead we finished at the 8th seed. Like, who would have thought that in April that we'd be at AC? We went from 13 to 8 in over a month. Who would have thought that? And then once we hit the play-in tournament, we like, okay, and then we played Boston. I said beat Boston, and you got Brooklyn. That's the matchup I wanted in the first round, because I don't want to see Russ versus Kevin Durant in the playoffs, which every fan want to see that. But it didn't turn out that way. We did lose. We had another shot at it because in the play-in tournament, if you're a 7 AC, you get 2 cracks at it. You need all you need is just 1 win to get in. But if you're a 9 and 10 seed, all you need is 2 wins, because 1 loss, you're done. But we did have another shot. We were at home playing against Indiana, smashed them, made the playoffs, and played Sixers in the first round. Because I think some fans, they really wanted to fit in the first round because they think that was the best matchup. But to me, it didn't turn out that way. Because I said, whoever you face, bring it on. But, it didn't work out for us. They really dominated us the whole series. But at least we got 1 playoff win. I'll take that. That was 1 win, and the 1 win, I was there. So that was a fun time experiencing what the playoffs is about up close. But we did lose the 5 games. But to me, in my opinion, the playoffs for us just is a learning experience, because because we got a lot of young guys who not experienced the playoffs yet. Because Russ and Brad, they been there, done that. But guys like Ruri, Gafford, and other young guys who not tasted the playoffs before. So this is just a learning process, because it's gonna get them confidence going into next season. Because I can tell that next year the guys who are coming back, they want to get better, help the team win, and hopefully be better than the 8th seed. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, fans. We did get 1 win in the playoffs, and I'm happy with that. Yeah, because you do not want to get swept like the Miami Heat did. Sorry, Heat fans. I'm sorry, but getting swept is embarrassing. But we did avoid a sweep, though. I'll take that, because I would not want to see in person getting swept. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So now let's move on. Let's talk about, before talking about players, let's talk about one person whose contract is up, and that is the coach, Scott Brooks. I did hear Tommy Shepard, we go after we got eliminated, that we're not ready to decide Scott Brooks' future yet. We're going to wait probably a week or 2 or so to decide is he going to stay, is he going to go. So to me, I don't know. Well, but if he goes, then best of luck. But if he stays, oh well, because people thought he's gonna be out the door if we miss the playoff. But since we made it and got a win, so we got a decision to make. You know what I'm saying? But even if we won this, if we beat the Sixers in the first round, he would have easily stayed, and that would have shocked every Wizards fan in the world, because everybody wanted to go. But to me, in my opinion, if it wasn't for COVID last year, when we had to suspend the season, he probably would. I think he would have been coaching the team this year. He probably would out the door. But we gave him another shot because season was cut short. Was a little cut short last year, so we get another chance. But we'll see what Tommy does in the coming weeks in the off season. See, is Scott gonna stay or go? So we'll have to wait and see. Let's get to the players now. First player I'll talk about, Raul Neto. At first, when we signed Neto to a 1-year deal, I said, all right. But when he came in, I'm like, okay, Raul Neto, he can shoot, he can hustle, play defense, he can get in the paint. You know what I'm saying? He is a fierce guy. Probably who's 6 feet, 6'1". So, Raul Neto, I hope you stay. I know you're free agent and all, but please stay. Next guy, who's a free agent? Robin Lopez, Mr. Captain Hook. That little, probably one of the most ugly hook shots I've ever seen, and he still makes it work. I'm like, how, man? How? Hopefully he comes back, because we need that tall presence on that team. You know what I'm saying? So, Robin, please stay. Next guy I'm talk about, he's not a free agent, and that is Ish Smith. And then at first, I think Ish he did struggle in the beginning in the season, because I said he wouldn't try nothing, no spark, no nothing. I think once after the injury, because he missed like 2 months in the season, but once he came back, he got better. Once he came back, I'm like, all right. So I think he's trying to convince the Time Shepherd that he wants to stay on the Wizards. So we'll see where we go. Because if he leaves, it'd be like what 12th team in like how many years? He's been a journeyman in the NBA. Now the next guy who should we talk about? The next guy we talk about is, I would say, let's talk about Thomas Bryant. That's the guy I want to talk about, because he was on his way to having a career season, but his season did cut short due to torn ACL. He's scheduled to come back in training camp next year, but here's my one concern. Next year is last year of his deal. And to me, in my opinion, I had this strange feeling that we're going to trade Thomas Bryant, because one guy that we're going to talk about later on, I think he's the future center on the team. I think he just stole the spotlight on everybody, even for me. You know what I'm saying? And moving on, let's talk about Denny Appiah. Now he did show some flash. You know what I'm saying? Because he is a rookie though. But it was so sad, very sad to see his season come to an end with that leg injury he suffered when fans came back in the building, to see him go out. But he is progressing well. He should be back next month. Hopefully we'll see him in the Summer League to see how well he improves. So I'm excited about that, because he was the steal of the draft, last year's draft. So can't wait to see how he improves going to next season. Hopefully he's here. But to me, is he a starter or a guy key role on the bench? To me, I think he's the guy who gives you spark on the bench. So if he gives you like good starters on the bench, we should be good. Now, the guy I want to talk about the most, that center feature, go Gaffer, Daniel Gaffer. Like I said earlier, I didn't know who he was. We ain't got them trade for him, but he just came in and just skyrocketed. He was a fan favorite right from day one. Now, in 2 games, he did get hurt. He had the ankle injury, like a high ankle sprain, wherever. He missed like 2 weeks or so in the season. But once he came back, like he was one of the most important players in our team. Like we were in what, like 15, 17 games when he plays. But I was kind of up. We were wondering like when's he gonna start? When's he gonna start? When's he gonna start? He did started the last 2 games of the season in the playoffs, game 4 and game 5. And it did work, but I want to see Gafford get better on is conditioning and getting muscular. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a little skinny though. Cause I want to see him play 30 minutes game for center. Cause he is like what 22, 20 years old, I believe. So if he could bulk up and get conditioning going, then you never know. Possible All-Star. You never know. And now I want to get to Ruri Hachimura. Yes, the Japanese Jumpman. Probably the second most important player on the team besides Brad and Russ. He did have some injuries. He had what do you call it, a pink eye, whatever, in the beginning of the year. Cause he was missing in the beginning of the year when we were on a little losing streak. And I think he had a COVID outbreak as well. But he's getting better though. He's getting better. I want to see more improvement from Rui because in the playoffs he was knocking down that 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he made like what 8, 9 threes in the series against Philadelphia. I'm like, where was this in the regular season? Why you weren't confident to shoot the 3 ball? You know what I'm saying? So if he can work on that at 3, and you know what I'm saying, do what he does best, defend, and you know what I'm saying, rebound wherever. Future All-Star Ruri Hachimura. Next up, the Panda, Bradley Beal. Number 2 scorer in the league. He was number 1 for majority of the season until Steph Curry, you know what I'm saying, he exploded in April. But what happened to Steph Curry? Y'all made the playoffs. Y'all did not make it. But we did. Because y'all had 2 chances to get in the playoffs, the Warriors. And y'all failed. But for us, we made it. And Brad's like, he don't care about being the best scorer in the league. He cares about his team getting to the playoffs. But Bradley Beal just keep doing Drew, man. Hopefully, like I heard you say at your exit interview, that next year, hopefully you'll be a MVP type player next year. Cause I think you'll be 20 years old coming soon. So yeah, 28. I believe 20 years old in June. So Panda, do what you do best. And last but not least, Russell Westbrook. Yeah, some fans they ain't like when you come to DC, but during the course of the year, you were loving DC because no matter what, you were welcome with open arms and all that. But Russell Westbrook, Mr. Triple W, I call you Triple Dub Russ. That's why I call you, because you're nothing but a walking triple double every single night. And to me, if he wasn't I think if we were a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference, he would have easily been an MVP candidate. Easily. Or he probably would have gotten MVP this year. But next year, I think if we get in that top 4 seed next year and Russ average a triple double, then he could go for it, get his second one in his career. So Russ, but next year, if you're healthy next year and get the team all together, then hopefully MVP next season. He'll be the first MVP for a Wizard since the great Wes Unseld Jr. back in the late 60s, I believe. So triple double Russ. And by the way, congrats on being an all-time leader in triple doubles in that game. Yeah, congratulations you on that. So there's many more to come. Hopefully you get 2, and then you definitely get 200 next year. 200 in your career. So now let's move on to let's look at our free agents. We have 7 free agents: Isaac Bonga, Robin Lopez, Garrison Matthews, Alex Lynn, Howell Neto, Ish Smith, Cassius Winston. I believe we're gonna keep at least 4. I think Robin stays, Matthews stays, Neto stays, and Winston stays. Because Winston, he's gonna stay because he's in our G League team. I can't remember. Oh, the Go-Go, Cap City Go-Go. So he's a 2-way player. So I think he's gonna stay in DC. Robin Lopez, like I said, he is staying because we need that second big for veteran leadership. And Mr. Captain Hook, the hook shot, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna need it because I think he's one of the top 5 in field goal percentage this season. So we're gonna need that next year. Come off the bench. Garrison Matthews, the let's come laser I call him because he can't shoot. Like where was he during the year? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, but in the beginning of the year, he started once we had a little our change in the beginning of the year. In the beginning, when we were on our little 5-game win streak, like he was shooting the 3-ball pretty well. So even if he does leave, we're gonna need a shooter next year to come off the bench. Because to me, if Ish leaves, which in my opinion, Ish Smith he's gonna leave, I think Garrison Matthews is gonna be the backup shooting guard if he stays coming next year. And the guy who's definitely leaving is Alex Len because he was there because Thomas Bryant was gone. So Len, thank you for your services because we got Gafford, TB coming back possibly, and hopefully Lopez returns. And Neto, you're definitely staying. I think we're gonna give you like another 1 year, 2 year deal, I believe, and be the backup point guard to Russell Westbrook. Oh, and before we go to break, I did miss out one person, Mr. Dallas Bertans, the Latin Laser. Now, during the year, like we were excited to bring back. We got you the 5-year, $8 million deal. I was happy because Laser is back, our best shooter, but he didn't shoot the ball well. That fan didn't think of because he wasn't the every time 3 goes up, it goes in. Okay, you know when that 3 goes in, fans go nuts. You know what I'm saying? I do my little but to me, during the year, like I said it many times, he doesn't need to go crazy. He doesn't need to get you 20 points by shooting threes. Like he can miss like 5 threes in a row, and somehow, someway, in 4th quarter, he'll make a big shot. Like I call him like big shot Robert Ory back in the day. He can be quiet and hit a big shot in the 4th quarter when it's needed. So that's why. But we'll see if I'm rumored about Bertans being traded and all that stuff. Cause fans want him to be traded. If he does get traded, I understand because I can't do my anymore. But if he does continue to stay, then I'm gonna keep supporting him because he is one of my favorite Wizards players I've ever seen, especially shooting the 3. Because he's probably the best shooter for Wizards that I've ever seen. Because wherever he shoots, it goes in. I'm like he can shoot from half court wherever he wants to with ease. Like he need to throw it up. He just shoot a regular shot and just go in. So Bertans, you stay, then welcome back. But if you leave and get traded, then thank you. So we're gonna take a quick break, y'all. We're gonna go to my top 10 wins of the season. Stay tuned, Wizards fans.
Westbrook's got the rebound.
A lot of time left here. No need for a foul. But you must box out Gafford, who has been killing them on the offensive glass.
It's Beal. Green is there. Switch on D. Simmons to the rack and outside. Hachimura 3. Bullseye! The lead is 6, and the other way comes Maxey. Gafford goes out on him. Here comes Harris. Hachimura's defense there. It's a 3. No! Picked up inside Neto. Westbrook flies the other way. Torn away, and a whistle and a foul. With 27 seconds to go.
Dribble penetration of Bradley Beal.
What a great find by Beal on the drive and kick.
Rui just sitting in the corner, chilling.
One of the best games of his young 2-year career. 20 points, 12 rebounds.
Okay, folks, we are back. It is that time again. We had some good wins throughout the season. This was a hard decision to make, but here they are. Here are my top 10 wins of the season. Let's start with number 10, shall we? Spoiling John Wall's return to DC. Now, let me tell you why. Because to me, I think they should have saved the Ville tribute when fans came back with me. I know fans in the building, but it was, emotional scene. Wall returned DC in a different uniform, you know what I'm saying? Because it felt a little weird because he was on our team for 10 years. But that win was good. I think Bill outplayed John that game. Russ played his first game of back-to-back all season long. We dominated them. I think we won by almost 20 points, I believe. And Wall had close to 24, 26 points, I think. But next year, if he's a Rocket next year, because there's a lot of tension because of Wall, he can leave Houston, wherever, because they were the worst team in basketball. But I got my ticket purchased wherever to see that man play next year. So it's gonna be crazy seeing fans, seeing Wall in a different uniform. So until next year, Wall. Until next year. Let's go to number 9. Number 9. The comeback win against the Nuggets. Now it was at home, I believe. When we were on a little 5-win streak back in February. Because that game, we were down, 20 points at the end of the first quarter. Jokic was giving the business to Mo Wagner in that game, and then we benched them throughout the game, and we had Alexander and Lopez played the other game. And that was the game where Mr. Dot Bertans had his best game of the season. Probably, I think, best game of his whole career. Had 35 points, made 8, 9 threes, I believe, off the bench, and we came back from 20 down and won, and Bill sank the game winning free throw with a tenth of a second remaining on the clock. But that was crazy. I never seen that. I never seen where you get fouled with just this much time on the clock and sank both free throws with no pressure at all. It was game over. And now let's move on to number 8. Number 8. The first game back with fans against the Warriors. Now that game was fun. I think we were going for six win in a row in that game with the fans back in the building. Cause that game, I think we built a 17, 18 point lead. We're going to cruise a victory, but during that game, we did lose Denny Appiah for the season for that game. And then they came back. I think they had an 11-point lead in that game, like 7 minutes ago in the fourth quarter. Jordan Poole was excuse me, he was on fire. Jordan Poole, and we shut down Steph Curry the whole game. We had him to 17, 18 points in that game, and we came back with Brad and Russ doing their best, and it was so good having fans back. And I think we lost 2 home games all year with fans in the building. So I think next year, when we have full house next year, we could be a good home team next year. You never know. But I want to put the Warriors win, the one in Golden State where Bill hit the and one. But that win with fans in the building was special to me, in my opinion. Let's go to we are in number 7. Number 7. The overtime win against New Orleans. Let me tell you why. Because that was Daniel Gafford's party right there. He shut down Zion the entire night. I believe that game he did foul out. Gafford blocked that man 3-4 times. And one block he did had one crazy block against Brandon Ingram. And in that game, I think we were down 7 points with almost 2 minutes to go. Came back, Russ forced overtime, and he finished in overtime. Sank the game-winning free throws. And Ingram, he did almost hit a haymaker 3 to almost win the game. But he made it, but he missed it. But to me, that was Gafford's game, in my opinion. And then one play where he just, I think Ish lobbed it up, and Gafford just threw it down. I'm like, whoa. That tells me that Gafford is the guy going forward as our center in years to come. Because he is literally the missing piece for a center that we sorely needed. because before we move on, I think Gafford, in my opinion, is the best shot blocker I've ever seen as a Wizards fan. In my 20 years as a fan, Gafford is the best shot blocker that we had. So, where are we at? Number 6. Blowing out the Lakers on national television. Now, this was our first game on our TV because we had nothing all year. No TV game, no nothing. We started getting TV games until we went on a little win streak. And I was shocked that they put us against the Lakers on TV. I'm like, what? Because we had 0 all year, and we with Russ and Brad on the team, and we get no TV time. Because how you get no TV game when Brad's an All-Star and Russ is MVP? But that game, that showed the world what kind of team that we are, and what can we be for the next couple years. But beating Lakers on TV, and not beating them, but sweeping the Lakers, that was big. And in one play when Ruri Hachimura just where he yammed on AD, that was the play of the year for the Wizards right there. Like, whoa. I'm like, no freaking way. Like, wow. He went right at one of the best shot blockers in the game. Like, where did this come from? Dang. But yeah, we did win, but LeBron didn't play. But we did beat LeBron the first time in LA. I think we were down that game 70 points, came back and won overtime. That was during our little 5-game win streak we went on. But that win against Lakers on TV was good. Let's go to what? We are at number 5. Winning game 4 against Sixers. Now, I was there in that game. I was there experiencing the playoffs. We did avoid the sweep in a game. I think late in the first quarter, Embiid went down and he had a knee injury. And when I heard he's gone, I'm thinking we might win this game and get back to fifth for game 5. But that game says we are not getting swept. And did y'all see that one part where the dumb fan ran on the court? Like, we had some crazy fan incidents in the first round of playoffs. We had 5 incidents, but that one fan who I'm like, what kind of crazy people are we living in today? Like, we see, cause I know we've been out of the house. We were stuck in the house for over a year now since for the pandemic. But these fans, man, they're crazy. But getting back to the game now. But that game 4 win was big because we did not want to get swept. Ruri Hachimura probably played his best. To me, probably one of his best games of his career. His young career in the playoffs. At home, elimination game in the line. And we're going to need that from Rui next year in year 3. He had, 20 points, 13 rebounds. And Russ, I believe he had triple-double, but he was, 3 of 19 shooting and still won the freaking game? But it was fun, man. It was fun watching the playoffs in person. Hopefully, next year, we can go back to the playoffs next year. I'll be back next year because playoff games are fun to watch in person. It's better watching it from home, you know what I'm saying? But at least we didn't get swept, was fans. We did not get swept by Philadelphia. I'll take that. Number 4. The Wizards win in Utah. Now, this to me, this sparked the Wizards season. Winning in Utah, where Utah, I think they were on a 24-game home win streak. They were the best home team in the league all season long. You know how hard it is winning Utah? Especially with that altitude down there. Like, it's one of the hardest places to play, especially when they're in an elite team and being the best team in basketball. But winning down there Utah, where we did the impossible out of all teams, beat Utah. Not even beat Utah, we swept Utah, swept the Jazz. Like, how? Like, for real though. To me, that was, I wouldn't put it number 1, but there's many more to come. But winning Utah was probably the most signature win of the season. All right, let's go to number 3. Oh, number 3 is crazy. Westbrook's game winner against the Nets. Oh, yes. Let me tell you why. That game was crazy. We were down pretty much the entire game. We were down maybe, 18, 19, 20 points, whatever. And we came back, we got a lead in the second quarter, and they pushed the lead back to double digits again. But late in the fourth quarter, Russell Westbrook said, we ain't going like this. Like, we're not going home. But when we were down with 5 points, like less than 6 seconds left to go in the game, and Beal hit a 3, and Matthews came with the steal, kicked the Westbrook, 3. I said, no. We made it. I'm like, no freaking way. Like, what? And then we did come up with a stop. There's still time left on the clock. We got a stop. We did win by 3, because that 3, I think that 3 puts up by 1. But I think Bill saved the 2 free throws to seal it. But Wizards fans, we did beat Brooklyn twice. We did beat them twice. I'll take that. So, hopefully next year, we beat Brooklyn twice again next year. If we do, hopefully we see them in the playoffs. Champs or not. For the Nets, if they win a chip or not, I want to see Brooklyn in the play. I want to see Russ versus KD in the playoffs next year. All right, number 2. Clinching the 8th seed against the Hornets. Now, let me tell you why. Now, that was probably the biggest game of our season. Because we all do was win one game. Because I think the Hornets, they were imploding down the season. Because they lost like the last, 5-6 games of the season, including the play-in tournament. So all we do is beat the Hornets, and we're the 8th seed. And if we lost, we would have been the 10th seed. I think we were down, 17 in the game. First quarter, we were down 17. Then we cut the lead to, single digits going to halftime. Then took a 10-point lead going to fourth quarter. But that fourth quarter was probably the best fourth quarter we played all season long. Because when we came back, fans were getting into it. Like, we made stops on defensive end all that game. Bill and Russ saying, we ain't going like this. And then he had a big fourth quarter in that game. But that win right there was one of the most, probably our second century win of the year behind Utah. Because all we do was beat Hornets. We're an 8 seed to get 2 cracks at it for the 7 or 8 seed in the play-in tournament. Now, let's go number 1. Number 1 on the list. The Wizards win the play-in against the Pacers. Now, this win, that's probably our most complete game we played all season long. Like, we dominated from beginning to end. Now, I think we dominated once, second quarter, where we went on a 16-0 run. And then third quarter on, it was all Wizards. And I was like, we are going to the playoffs. After all the injuries, the COVID, the up and down season, all that stuff, I said, we did it. We did it. First playoff appearance in how many years? In 3 years, I believe. Like, that win against Indiana was, like I said, the most complete game we played all season long. We scored 142 points, and they scored 115, I believe. I think the whole year, we pretty much dominated Pacers, especially Russell Westbrook. He has 27 points, 18 boards, and 20 assists against the Pacers. Dude. He's like NBA 2K, you know what I'm saying? He's a creative player against the Pacers. Like, he kills the Pacers every time he goes against them. He has 10 triple doubles against the Pacers in his whole career, more than any team in the league. Like, damn, Russ, damn. So, those are my top 10 wins of the year. What y'all think was the best win of the year? So, let me know right away. When we come back, we're gonna close the show. Have some final thoughts before we head in the offseason. Stay tuned.
Friday, they have 10 games left after tonight. 6 of those will be at home, and then another game against the Clippers at Staples. Oh, my goodness. Ruri Hachimura against Anthony Davis, who got the worst of that in more ways than one.
Wow. My goodness gracious. Rui in transition. AD coming at him. My goodness. He had nothing for him. Rui. Wow.
All right. For the last time this season, we're back. Now it's time for the closing moments of the show. The season was what a wild season. Been doing the show for 3 years now. So this is probably one of the most wildest seasons I ever done. Like, we dealing with COVID, you know what I'm saying? Been busy a lot, you know what I'm saying? Working because been watching a lot of games and doing a lot of shows, but been doing these shows. I've been doing more shows when we were on our little winning streak that we had late in the season. But looking forward to next season for season 4 on this show. And next year will be my 21st season as a Wizards fan, because time is going fast. But these 20 years, man, like, been there for the good times, the bad times, but I cannot wait till next year doing these shows for y'all, and more intros to come, and all this yakety yak, you know what I'm saying? But time flies, man. Now, I want to, you know what I'm saying, before we close this show out, I want to shout out to some people, you know what I'm saying? First, I'm going to give a shout out to one of my good friends who been watching my shows pretty much every episode along the way. My good friend Amanda, who works at my job. Like, every time I post a show, bam, gonna watch. And by the way, and she loves my intros, where, especially the one, you know what I'm saying, when I did my little dance for y'all, where I promised y'all, I said, if we make the playoffs, I will dance for y'all. And there'll be more dancing if we win some games. There'll be more dancing, lip syncing, some funny stuff that y'all have not seen before. You know what I'm saying? But thank you, Amanda, for supporting my show all season. So just you know what I'm saying? Just keep on going. Now, I think there are 4 podcasts that I've been watching on a daily basis that I want to give a shout out to. There's 2 of them I have not got on my show yet, and other 2 I did put them on my show. But I'm talking about the 2 that didn't make it, but they will be part of the show next year. I'm gonna give a shout out to the 2 hosts from the Believe in Wizards podcast, my man Matt and former with Larry Hughes. Like, been watching y'all almost pretty much like I'm hearing y'all like once a week, twice a week on y'all show. And shout out to Larry Hughes, man, because cause I remember when I was younger, I'm still a little upset when you left the Wizards, man, because I went to Cleveland. But you know what I'm saying. But man, hopefully see you again at a Wizards game next season, and keep doing your thing. And also, I'm gonna shout out to my 3 boys I watch every Wednesday when I'm at work or in my car going home or driving to work or going home. My 3 boys, my man Wole, Will T, Ray Jeezy from the urban sports scene. That is one of my favorite podcasts. And Wole, if you're listening, I love the part where we go to break. I love when you say, for ages, you dig, deuces. I love that part. That gets me, you know what I'm saying, excited, you know what I'm saying. But I love the pod, man. Love y'all talk Wizards, Washington football team. Y'all talk a little bit of boxing, and then now y'all talking NBA playoffs, you know, and all that. Y'all talking NFL playoffs, and y'all do little caps and Nats a little bit. And I think coming soon, y'all are gonna talk about the Mystics, because they are playing, you know what I'm saying. But hopefully next season that pod will be part of the show. Wherever y'all talk about that's interesting, I will put in there. And same for the Believe Wins podcast as well. If y'all say something interesting that I want to talk about, it'll be on the show. So next up, shout out to my man Quinn Mail from the Quinn Mail podcast show. Like, been watching that show when you created that podcast after you left NBC Sports Washington for a good 2 years. And you got put in and shout out to my man Trav Thomas, man, on Team 980. I listen to y'all like from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. by listening to at around 11:30 during my lunch break. But hopefully you need to get him on your pod one day. You know what I'm saying? Cause y'all two be like, y'all like brothers, man. Cause y'all get the Wizards, man. And got me all hyped up for your show. Cause I love the Wizards Outsiders last year. Like, what? I know COVID happened last year, but y'all two need to get back together again. So Quinn Mayo, hopefully next season, man, get something good, man. Cause you be spitting facts, man, on your show, man. Cause you're one of the most entertaining Wizards fans that I ever know. So keep grinding, Quinn Mayo, and same to you, Trav Thomas, if you're watching the show. You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, my ladies from the Triple Dub podcast, Karita, Becca, Bree, and Candy. And I'm still on that one episode when y'all said, do not tank. I'm still on that because there's one episode I did put on there where they said, don't tank. And that really sparked the Wizards. And I'm thinking, what did y'all do? Like, us Wizards fans, including myself, we didn't see this coming. Like, how? But they made the playoffs, and like it happened. They said, don't tank, don't get that 9th pick or whatever, and get what's that, Jalen Suggs or the Evan Mobley and Kay Cunningham, that's his name, and that one kid, I can't remember his name is another Jalen. He's going to the NBA. He's on the G League. He's another pick that some Wizards fans that they wanted, but the Wizards, including Russ, said, nope, we are not going to like this. And what happened? They won 17 of the last 20 games and made the playoffs. So ladies, keep doing y'all thing, ladies. Keep doing y'all thing. So, and I'm afraid that is about it. All season long. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all know the deal. Y'all follow me on Twitter at Camingo. Send my Instagram. And for Wiz page on Twitter is at Wiz_Nation. Instagram, Nation_Wiz. Next season, y'all. Next season. Can't wait to see y'all. And you will see me. And hopefully y'all see y'all at a Mrs. game. I go to Mrs. games most of the time. I do love basketball, you know what I'm saying? More than anything. Hopefully I see y'all. Hopefully I meet more Wizards fans and see some Wizards fans that I know. So it's been a ride, Wizards fan. It's been a long ride. So thank y'all for watching. I love y'all. Until next season, peace.